Uh, Gosh, what are you doing? There we go. What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your mind?
It's just such a creepy scene, you know? It's like we don't give this scene enough credit. And we were alive when this movie was made, so I'd like to, give credit where credit's due.
Yeah. What's funny is the first time I saw Silence of the Lambs, I was disappointed by it because, well, no, this is why. Because my cousin told me that all this stuff happens that doesn't happen, that like things that are discussed but aren't actually shown.
Interesting.
He talked about them as if they were things that happened in the movie. So I was like, wait, where was this scene? Where was that scene?
He was probably talking about things that happen in the book, that wise guy.
No, because there's scenes where, yeah, I don't even want to go into it, but there's stuff that was that he discussed that's talked about that Buffalo Bill does, but we don't actually see him do it,
Oh, well, great film.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Way ahead of its time.
I watch it annually.
1991. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and those who are non-binary as well, all kinds of people, to the TV Time Machine podcast. I am Luis.
And I'm Adam.
And we love TV.
We love TV.
Getting closer. Getting closer.
Almost there.
I like how that's a trope of ours. Welcome to another show. We are disciplining ourselves, Adam and I, to be consistent, but also giving ourselves time crunches. I love that. To record within an hour.
Is ready to sweep already.
That's adorable. So welcome to another taping of the midday episode. Adam, how's life treating you? That's good. We'll play some music while we're waiting. Hey. The joys from recording at home with children, right?
Yeah.
No worries. We were just listening to some Buffalo Bill. No big deal. How are things?
Good.
Things are going well.
Getting the COVID out.
Getting it out of your system.
Yeah.
Would you say COVID is the arch of New York? What was that?
Getting lymphatic massages.
Oh, that's what I need. I need someone to just fuck my back up in the best of ways. Just stand on it, tap dance, fucking. What is that Irish jig?
Oh, yeah.
The Lord of the Dance. Just go for it, man. I need it. My current partner's not good at it at all. I hate to call him out, but man, cannot rub a back to save his life. But of course, he'll let me rub his back for hours.
You gotta get some massage tools.
Yeah, but when it comes to him, it's not strong like It's all good. It's all good. Would you say that COVID is the new arch nemesis of humanity?
Yeah, it's definitely like the new terrorism,
I think it wanted to be more of an arch nemesis, but it came short. It was kind of like the what was the guy that got sliced in half in The Last Jedi? Snoke. Trying to be just as bad as like the Spanish flu, but we sliced that shit right in half. Bam, bam.
Cut it out.
I'm fully vaccinated, and it
Yeah.
feels weird. Adam, you probably have antibodies for days.
Yeah. Yep.
But I brought up the arch nemesis thing because we're doing an episode on most memorable villains, and this is going to be fun because I know we could talk for hours about this, but we have an hour. So we have a general article from Rolling Stone, 40 greatest TV villains of all time, and then I wrote down my 5 favorite as well.
Yeah. I got a bunch too.
Um,
Um,
I guess when I'm looking at this list, I was trying to figure out who is the most universal when you look at them and you go, oh yeah.
yeah, I felt like that list had a lot of newer villains on it. Um, and it was hard to find lists of older villains,
Yeah.
because
Wilson Frisk.
because villains, like shows with villains, that was like a rarity,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Most shows were dramas, had to do with relationships or family, or not things where there's really a villain at play. Um, so it was more of a rarity back in the day, but we still had some really good villains. Some more notable ones like Tony Soprano, which I don't know if a lot of people saw him as a villain.
He's
He's
a
kind of he's like
protagonist,
Walter.
antagonist, you know?
Yeah, he's like Walter White, where people are like, "Oh, I like him," and it's like he's the bad guy.
It's funny that you
He's like,
mentioned that.
"I'm gonna sell meth to people."
It's funny because Tony Soprano, as much as we loved and hated him at the same time,
Yeah,
they definitely played with our emotions on feeling for him. All right. Even though he was a complete fucking psychopath. No conscience whatsoever. On
yeah,
multiple levels, no morality.
yeah,
Cheated on Carmela like it was going out of style.
yeah. Well, I
Was
mean, his own mom put a hit out on him,
yeah,
right? So,
family's crazy.
so I mean, that's what he comes from.
I love the episode where they do the intervention with is it Michael? Whatever what you call his character was.
Um,
Not Michael. You know who I mean. The the other lead.
yeah, my producer, Impellieri,
Yeah.
yeah,
What was his
yeah,
name?
Michael,
Sal.
Michael Impellieri, yeah, yeah.
Forgot his name. Anyway,
I
that
couldn't remember. Yeah,
intervention scene was great.
yeah, but
So yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a newer trope. Villains in television are a newer thing. I would say the last 30 years they started to become a thing, and now they're all the rage. Now, if you have a good villain in your show,
yep,
forget about it. I
yep.
think of Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Oh my God. Talk about someone that you love to hate. This psychotic boy king
I've
that had.
actually never seen Game of Thrones other than the
Wow.
first episode. That's all I've
Oh
seen.
wow. I'm not sure we can continue this show. No, actually, I'm half and half with Game of Thrones. I liked the first couple of seasons. It did a really bad nosedive like the last few seasons, and then I
Yeah,
didn't
because
care.
they went off book, right?
Well, there was no books to go off of because
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Crazy George couldn't keep up.
Well, they should have, and they could have stretched out because there were entire storylines from books that they ignored.
They could have totally done
So
that
they
if
could have taken their time getting to like waiting for the next book, sort of thing, and been they just rushed through everything.
if The Hobbit could do 3 movies, they totally could have done.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, yeah. Um, so let's get into some of these off the list, and then we'll go.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
Uh,
like the majority of villains from back in the day were in cartoons.
yeah, there was always a cartoon villain like the Spike. Was it Spike or Cobra?
And
The Claw.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um
Inspector Gadget.
for G.I. Joe, you mean?
No, remember Inspector Gadget? I'll get you next
Oh,
time.
Claw, Dr. Claw.
Yeah, And we
Yeah,
always theorized that it was the captain because at the end his lips would sync up with what Claw was saying.
yeah,
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
yeah.
Next time. But he was the clumsiest, stupidest villain ever. He always, for all the like the technological advances he had, all his shit would always fuck up.
Yeah, yeah.
He would scurry off in his like airplane and
And
scream, "I'll get you! Ah, I suck."
yeah, yeah. Even though he was based on Brando's Godfather,
I'll get you next time.
you know, he's got the cat. He's got the cat.
Yeah.
He's always like,
So disrespectful. Kilgrave, Jessica Jones, Ace from Girls. I don't remember.
man, I did not know the majority of the shows on that list.
Girls? I barely remember Ace being in that show. Downton Abbey, Thomas Barrow, I've heard is pretty much a badass. But again, Downton Abbey is not something I sit around
Yeah.
with the girls on Sunday and watch. Would
I
you want some
saw
crumpets?
a little bit of it when I lived in New York. Very little bit of it. My mother-in-law was super into it, and so I happened to catch it a few times at her house. But
Let's sit around and eat some beef Wellington.
yeah, I thought that's what it was going to be. What it's supposed to be is it's a period piece of upstairs downstairs. Have you ever seen that show?
Yeah,
PBS.
PBS.
It's like the servants. It's like the rich people and their servants.
Yeah.
So it's the same show as that, but set back in time. So it's like all the stuff the servants deal with, and all the petty stuff that the rich people deal with, or whatever, you know, like
You peasants.
and
Go and wipe the silver.
slash the murders they cover up, you know.
Would you give me some?
I need you to dig a hole for me, Joffrey.
Tea and crumpets.
I killed my cousin. I mean,
the British are their television is weird, and they drink beer warm. I love England though. I do. Don't get me wrong. For all my English listeners out there, I got your back.
yeah,
Especially-
I wonder. I gotta tell my friend Nick, who was good friends with my old band's drummer, because he studied for, you saw us play, yes, Sensei?
Yeah.
Sometime? Yeah, in like Brooklyn or Manhattan.
I saw you guys get into your boxers and pour beer all over yourselves.
That was just me, but
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, he's really going for it. I want to pour beer to myself now. And then I wanted to strip down and do it, but I thought it'd be weird because I'm the audience.
yeah.
No, you guys are great.
Other people might have done it too, you know. You might have started something.
The energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Off the charts.
Thanks. But yeah, so he studied in England for a while, and Nick would come and visit, and I feel like Nick went on a winter tour with us or something one time.
I met this missionary couple's brother came to see them graduate missionary school. His name was Luke. He was my age, and he was English. And oh God, what a gorgeous kid! I was so distracted by how gorgeous he was. I was like 17, and he was just asking me so many questions about America, and I was asking him so many questions about England. Yeah, he's a British lad that got away. Anyway,
he skipped back across the pond.
Yeah, he left. He launched across the pond.
Like a stone.
Skipped like a stone from my heart. I'm doing all kinds of weird accents. Not English. The one-armed man from The Fugitive, the TV.
Oh
show.
yeah, that's a great villain.
Everyone knows him.
Well, and the marshal that's after The Fugitive, after
I mean,
Dr. Kimball, you know.
Yeah, what was his name? U.S. Marshal Sam whatever. God, I need to get better at this.
Yeah, because the thing with that is he knows that Richard Kimball isn't guilty, but he also knows the public perception is that Richard Kimball's guilty.
Right.
So he's like, I'm just going to go with the public perception, get this guy, and then everybody thinks we got the killer. Like
Samuel Gerard.
I look like I did my job, whether I did it or not, you know? it almost like shows how law enforcement will just take the path of least resistance,
Hell yeah.
right?
But I mean,
It's like,
Samuel Gerard was always kind of like on the good end too, because the way Tommy Lee Jones portrayed him, he got the Oscar for that in
it
90.
was amazing.
Yeah, and then he reprised that role in U.S. Marshals in '98
He's
movie.
like,
That wasn't that good.
he hadn't even been acting that long, right? When he did
I
Fugitive,
mean, he did
Tommy Lee
like
Jones.
Nashville and some couple of old like '70s, but he was not
Yeah.
a
I feel
mainstream
like he
actor.
I feel like he had done mostly bit parts in some TV shows here and there. And then the year he did Fugitive, he did like 2 or 3 projects the same year, and Fugitive ended up blowing up.
I just can't believe that that movie got so much acclaim for being a. It was a. I think 3 times now they've adapted it from the old to the TV show to the movie. The movie went on to get Best Picture nomination
Mhm.
and Best Actor nomination and win for Tommy. And then they did one with Tim Daly on CBS, and that one was really good too.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, great villain
So
there.
yeah, I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure The Fugitive was an independent film.
The Fugitive. Oh, also,
Or if it wasn't an independent film, the studio didn't really believe in the project and gave him like a $5 million budget to work with.
Andrew Davis, the director.
Yeah, and he stole most of that film. Like what I
Interesting.
mean, like you know how there's the scene at the Boston, um, the St. Patrick's Day parade in Boston.
Oh yeah.
They stole all that.
What do you mean they stole the
They had
footage?
they got no they had no permits. They
Oh
had
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was a cameraman and Harrison Ford and the director like on an earpiece to the cameraman, to the operator, and that was it. And
93. You
they
can get away
got
with
like
that.
a yeah, they got like a small I think they shot those scenes digitally. They had like a small digital camera that they could just like hide easily, you know, and they just stole all those shots where there's like hundreds of thousands of people, you know.
Hey,
They just stole all those, and then the train sequence, which everybody, that's the big sequence, right? That one and him diving, doing the swan dive. But the train, they bought that train for $20,000.
hmm.
It was a train that didn't work, and it was a locomotive with like 1 or 2 cars that they got for $20,000, but it didn't run. But they just pushed it. They just put some trucks behind it and pushed it, and they then like sped up the footage of it, coming. But
That was groundbreaking back then. Holy
yeah,
shit.
so they filmed that huge sequence, that entire sequence with like the truck and everything cost like under $100,000 to do,
Yeah, that was groundbreaking back
which
then.
is like, yeah, that's like unheard of.
The Yellow King from True Detective season 1 was pretty horrifying.
I still haven't seen that show. I
It's
really gotta. My brothers, my brothers still tell me, like, have
oh
you
god.
watched True Detective yet?
It's a mix of
It's not that
philosophy,
many episodes.
drugs, violence.
Yeah.
Uh the cigarette smoking man from the X-Files, I hated
Oh,
him.
yep. Yep. And that's a great villain when you like really hate them. You're just like,
Really hated him.
this guy.
Gus Fring is made number 7 on this list from Breaking Bad. He was pretty terrifying.
He was number one on almost every list I saw.
He's number 7 on this.
And I feel like he kind of deserves that number one or number two slot because
Yeah. He
so
was
good.
the
Such a career changing role
oh hell yeah.
for Giancarlo.
Giancarlo Esposito. Not only did he horrify by being super calm, especially when he was like slicing people up, but he was also very curious. I think Walt really fascinated his character. He was fascinated and really, really equally um, terrified of Walt. I think he was scared of Walt, but he never showed it.
Mhm. Yeah.
So what made so Joffrey's on here as number 4. Livia Soprano, Tony's mom, made the list at number 3. She was evil, wasn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
She
She
was
wanted to
evil.
kill Tony.
Then she had her brother or her husband do it. Her brother did it, try to kill Tony too. He said he was having a dementia episode, but no. Were you a Lost fan? Because Benjamin from Lost made.
I only ever saw the first season.
Oh,
I've kind of always intended to watch it just because I don't know. I feel like I still every once in a while see references to it,
I always got pun intended,
like
lost
Dharma and stuff like that.
watching that show. I just couldn't keep up with all the clues and the. It's
I
just
thought it was amazing. When I finally watched it, it was when I was doing direct care and I was working overnight, and the other person I was working with brought the box set to work, and they were like, and I was like, I've never seen that, and they're like, you've never seen Lost? I was like, yeah, I don't watch TV. TV sucks, And they were like, oh, I think this might change your mind.
the irony
And the
of
first
that comment.
episode, I was just like, this is so cinematic.
Yeah, well, the pilot was one of the most expensive produced ever.
Yeah, yeah,
and it was epic.
yeah. Was that
right.
Joss Whedon?
J.J. Abrams.
Oh, it was J.J. Abrams. That's right.
Good old J.J. saved the day.
Yeah. He's like,
right.
I make a killer opening, but the ending, who cares?
He knows how to revive franchises. He does not know how to end shit. Look what he did to Star Wars. Don't even get me started on Mike Skywalker. Don't even get me started on
Star Trek.
I know. Well, Star Trek, I think he did worse with Star Wars. I mean, that's like
yeah, of course. People were much more forgiving with Star Trek.
Yeah,
but there's been way more Star Trek movies, so it's easier to be forgiving when
fuck.
There's a new franchise every once in a
AJ,
while.
God damn it.
Speaking of, the Borg are one of the best bad guy, I think, from TV.
The Borg, Laquetus Borg, Picard,
mm-hmm.
was one of the better ones because once he was the Borg, you never really saw any hint of Picard there. It's like he completely changed, and it was fucking scary.
Yeah.
And he's still to this day getting messed with. They hinted at it in Picard, and they hinted at it in the amazing movie based on the Borg, First Contact.
Oh man.
Ooh man, that was Die Hard in space on an Enterprise ship. Good movie.
Facts on that movie too.
They hold up. It's Industrial Light and Magic.
Up.
And Worf like hand fighting on the side outside and during the spacewalk, and that blood that floats in the gravity.
Yeah.
Good shit.
That is a great one.
We need to take our first break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about our personal 5. I have my 5, my list right here. I'm so proud of it.
Ooh.
I wrote them down. On the TV Time Machine podcast, most memorable villains. Ooh,
of all time.
That sounds like a ghost. I don't know about that. All right. I'll be right back.